Peace, it's Mo from Clever Chrono, and here's what I learned this week in the world of watches. Watchmaker Jaeger LeCoultre recently released a new Reverso 1 model called Precious Flowers. This beautiful timepiece from JLC features enameling, engraving, and precious gem setting. Its design is inspired by tropical Art Deco styles from places like Miami. It comes with a hand-wound caliber 846, and it's going to be limited to a release of 10 pieces. In a bizarre story from England, 95-year-old dairy farmer James Steele recently found his Rolex that he'd lost at some point in the 1970s. Now, Mr. Steele believes that one of his cows somehow ate his Air King. There's no real explanation for it in any of the articles that I've read, and it ended up in the mud in one of his cow fields. Although the timepiece has definitely seen better days, apparently with a full servicing, it can get back to working order without a problem. Last month, a man named Richard Doe was robbed of his Rolex while it was sitting in his backpack in a golf cart at Miami Shores Country Club.
A man accused of targeting golf courses across the country and here in South Florida is finally behind bars. He's accused of stealing expensive items from victims, and that's not all. Only on 6, Nico Clemens spoke with one of those victims. He's live in Miami Shores. Nico.
Well, Trina, police say this man used the same strategy, had the same plan, and they were able to link him to other thefts, not just here in Miami Shores, but Miami Beach. And he's also wanted in other states for similar crimes.
Using surveillance cameras and footage to track his license plate information, they found out that the thief was a man named Ivan Urquiza.
Fortunately, these golf and country clubs, they all have several surveillance cameras which help police track him down.
I got word for all the golfers out there, be careful, you never know who's who.
He believed they were gone for good.
Thought I lost my backpack, maybe dropped it.
I hope it fell off there or somebody has it.
We'll find out it was stolen straight out of the golf cart.
Inside his backpack, police say was an $18,000 Rolex, money, documents, and a gun.
My firearm is in there. I hope this doesn't get in the wrong hands.
Richard Doe was at the Miami Shores Country Club last month when he says someone stole his bag.
Most likely, it'll be kept and then the bag will be discarded.
But days later, that's exactly what happened. Doe says he got a call from someone who found his bag inside their trash can, and the person who threw it away was caught on camera. Miami Shores police say the man in this surveillance video is Ivan Urquiza.
Apparently, Urquiza had been on the run for over a decade. Going by the alias Philip Vincente, Urquiza was known to frequent golf courses every day looking for potential victims.
Guess somebody was watching out for me.
Police say they went through surveillance video at the country club and used license plate readers and caught up with Urquiza.
What did I do?
In the middle of doing my
I'm gonna find out.
Let's just go outside.
Detectives soon learned Urquiza stole from another golfer at the country club in January and from golfers in Miami Beach. But that's not all. Police say Urquiza is wanted in several different states for similar crimes and has hid since 2013.
I hope they get him in all the other states as well.
Detectives say Urquiza also uses the website sugardaddy.com to get young women to believe he's rich and takes advantage of them. Court documents say they found him at one of those women's homes. Doe, like so many others, is relieved and hopes this is the end of this man's crime spree.
I am so grateful that, that he's off the streets.
When the police caught up with Urquiza, he was not only found with Richard Doe's possessions, but also possessions from a similar robbery which happened earlier this year.
Police say they did find Doe's firearm, his gun, and his documents and other personal items. They do believe there are more victims, and they say if you believe you're a victim or if you recognize this man, give them a call or call Crime Stoppers. In Miami Shores, Nico Clemens, NBC6 News.
Watchmaker Breitling recently released a new Super Ocean automatic rainbow model in 42mm and 36mm. The 42mm Super Ocean comes in stainless steel with a black bezel and black dial and rainbow indices. The 36mm Super Ocean comes with a red gold bezel, white dial, and rainbow colored indices. The movement in these new releases is the COSC certified caliber 17, which is based on the ETA 2824-2. The stainless steel Super Ocean comes with an MSRP of $5,200, and the red gold Super Ocean comes in at $7,200. Seiko recently announced the release of a beautiful new Prospex C. With the model number SRP L11, this burgundy bezel and dial Prospex is the first release in its models line that I've seriously thought about getting my hands on. It's 41.7mm in diameter, 12.33mm thick, and has a lug-to-lug width of 49.5mm. It comes with the Seiko caliber 4R35 and is slated for release next month, July 2024. A woman named Olena Austin, who's the owner of 2 jewelry stores called Blesk Jewelry, was recently charged with selling up to $2 million in counterfeit goods through her stores.
Buyer beware. Palm Beach police say a Worth Avenue boutique owner was selling clothes and jewelry that were actually worthless. WPTV's Jamie Ostroff gives us a look tonight at what was seized in a major counterfeit bust.
Worth Avenue. It's a destination.
The selection is unbelievable.
For luxury shoppers from around the world.
They got a lot of quality merchandise down here.
Which is why frequent visitors Ann and Joe Cernillian were surprised.
Was that right?
To find out what had happened at one of the shops along the Ritzy Row.
It's upsetting, very upsetting.
Some of the brands that Austin is accused of selling fakes of include Rolex, Van Cleef & Arpels, and Tiffany.
Palm Beach police say Blesk Jewelry was selling counterfeit clothing and jewelry out of its Worth Avenue and South County Road boutiques, passing them off as authentic items from designers like Chanel, Van Cleef & Arpels, Tiffany & Company, and Pucci. This is what officers seized from the stores Thursday after an undercover investigation that started with a tip from the FBI in October.
Behind you, you're going to see approximately a street value of almost $2 million of counterfeit items.
Olena Austin, listed as the president of Blesk Jewelry in Florida business filings, was arrested. She's charged with 1 count of selling or offering for sale counterfeit goods or services more than $20,000. But Captain Will Rothrock said that could change as the investigation continues.
We have to go through the authentication process with all of the brands to, more fully authenticate exactly the values on the counterfeit items, and that might bring additional charges later.
As a popular socialite in Palm Beach, Florida, Austin is known for cozying up with a lot of bigwigs, including former President Trump. Austin was arrested at one of her stores on June 7th for selling counterfeit goods, including watches, and was released on $50,000 in bail. Panerai recently released a new submersible called the Elux Lab ID. Now, this revolutionary new release from Panerai actually features on-demand loom for low-light conditions. The eLab ID features an innovative micro-generator called the PowerLight function, which allows you to get 30 minutes of consistent lumen light from the timepiece. Much like most of Panerai's models, this piece isn't for the small-wristed, coming in at 49mm in diameter. This piece is going to be priced at an eye-watering $96,300. Tech brand Caviar recently released a new timepiece called the Stargazer X Edition. While Caviar isn't known for its watchmaking chops, this piece is interesting because they all come with fragments from a SpaceX Starship. The Stargazer also features a tourbillon at 6 o'clock and a display caseback. There was no mention from the article that I read about the timepiece on the movement being used. This piece is slated to be released with an MSRP of $6,600. Watchmaker Gerald Charles recently announced the release of their new Maestro 9.0 tourbillon. As part of the Maestro collection, this piece was designed by the legendary watchmaker Gerald Genta. The Maestro 9.0 tourbillon comes with a 39mm titanium case and a gold dial that was hammered by hand. The Maestro 9.0 tourbillon is going to be limited to 50 pieces and comes in at a budget-busting €83,100. The New Yorker recently released a very interesting article on a Patek Philippe owned by legendary Beatles lead singer John Lennon. Apparently his watch was stolen several years ago and somehow wound up on the auction block at Phillips in Geneva. Yoko Ono purchased the rare Patek Philippe $24.99 at Tiffany & Co. in New York City as a birthday gift for John Lennon. Right now, Yoko Ono is awaiting the verdict from the court system in Geneva to determine the future of the timepiece. For all of us who keep up with Hodinkee, we've noticed over the past year the loss of several of their content creators and editors. Long-term contributor and Talking Watches host Danny Milton is one of the most recent to fly the coop, and he's actually headed over to Teddy's new brick and mortar in Cleveland, and he's going to be their new head of content creation. Danny shared a post on LinkedIn about his new role and was quoted as saying, "After over 4 years at Hodinkee, I've decided to pursue a new and exciting opportunity as Vice President of Content with Teddy Baldessar. In just a short time as part of the team, I can already see the sky's the limit for what we can do. I am super thankful at the chance to take on this next challenge and hit the ground running producing world-class content." Out of all of the content creators that have disappeared so far from Hodinkee's ranks, I really miss seeing Brandon Menancio. Former American President Lyndon B. Johnson's super rare Patek Philippe just recently sold at auction at Christie's. This piece was commissioned by Tiffany & Co. for President Johnson and features an 18-karat gold case and the inscription on the dial, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." This piece is 35mm in diameter, and there are approximately 12 of these pieces known to have been created. Originally estimated to sell for $25,000 to $45,000, this piece ultimately went on sale for $110,000. Were there any cool stories from the world of watches that I missed that you'd like to share? Please let me know in the comments. Till next time.